China to pump over 11 million EC dollars into the construction of the Yaak Valley Bridge, damaged by the collapsed Matye Dam in 2011. Government-appointed consultant Gloria Shillingford says third and fourth form boys are more likely to drop out than any other category of students. And organizers assure patrons Zika won't stop the 19th annual World Creole Music Festival. I am Julian Morris. Channel 5 News details coming up after this. Construction work to begin on the Yaak Valley Bridge located in the Layu Valley. The Ministry of Public Works and Ports announced on Wednesday that the project would be executed in two phases, the demolition of the existing one-lane bridge and construction of a two-lane bridge. The demolition portion of the work will take place between September 25 and 29. However, the road will be closed from September 21. The project is expected to last 1 year. Construction of the new Yaak Valley Bridge is estimated in excess of 11 million EC dollars. It is being made possible through the grant funding from the People's Republic of China. The government of the People's Republic of China made the commitment to provide funds to reconstruct the bridge after it was severely damaged following the collapse of the Matye Dam in July 2011. In the meantime, the Ministry of Public Works and Ports is advising motorists traveling east of Yaak Valley to use the Jimit Warner Road or the Kenfield-Poncase Road. Let's move on now to the Creole Festival Committee, which is looking to raise over $3 million this year from staging the festival. The festival, which was cancelled last year due to Tropical Storm Erica, is slated for October 20th to 30 this year. The government of Dominica also injected an extra $1 million into this year's event. However, a consultant with the DFC says in order for the festival to see financial benefits, it needs to generate more than $3 million.
We're still looking for any pretty penny that you may have. I don't think that we do not need it. We do need your support. The government has already given us a major boost this year, but the festival in its own entirety at that level, we definitely need to raise the necessary funding to pay off all our expenses. So $1.7 million, I can tell you, if you just do the math, we need to raise between $3 to $4 million to really clear off all our expenses. So we're hoping that as we move along and we offer you this product to give us the support that's needed.
Meantime, the visitor arrivals from the French territories is expected to be at its highest for this year's event, and the WCMF promotions team is currently off-island vigorously marketing the festival.
So Ezra and Wadix left Dominica on Sunday and they went to Guadeloupe. So for the past few days, they have met with Guadeloupe Premier Radio, Canal 10 Television, Trust TV, who is coming down here to do a documentary and videography for the festival. They've met with our long-time partner RCI, and also they've done flyer distribution. We've had several billboards in Guadeloupe and Martinique for the past few weeks. So they've met with the president of the regional council, also expressed their zeal representatives, and now they are on their way to Martinique to meet with more representatives of the French travel agents and also do more radio and television interviews.
The DFC will also be increasing its ticket sales around the island in order to ensure a large number of Dominicans support the event.
We're going to be having tickets specials at every Friday event on the Bayfront, starting this Friday. We're going to be having ticket specials at $275. In October the 21st, we do the Road Runner edition where we go to do a motorcade and have ticket specials as well. Also, we are planning for September 29th to have our school bus tour where we go to the college and give them some support in terms of trying to get the kids to understand the value of the education, but also to let them know that because these are the future purchasers of World Creole Music Festival tickets, so we want them to know the importance of the festival to Dominica. So we're going to be trying to educate them on that as well.
The DFC is still encouraging potential partners to come on board and lend financial support to the World Creole Music Festival. Now to education. Poverty, disability, violence, drug and alcohol abuse, and teenage pregnancy are all reasons why children drop out of school. The findings of government-appointed consultant Gloria Shillingford. Addressing a school dropout study training on Wednesday, Shillingford explained that government was very concerned about the issue and her role is to investigate.
Ensuring our children not end up as mere statistics and more so on our streets. Some may say it's a small group, but permit me to use the words at a last principals meeting held just last week Friday of the minister, where he said to the gathering, one dropout is one too many. And indeed that is true.
Shillingford said a number of social interventions have been afforded by the Ministry of Education and by extension the government. She stressed that the current statistics reveal that there were too many school dropouts on the island.
Boys are in the greater percentage in comparison to our girls. That we already know that it is the third forms and the fourth forms where we have serious problems. We also know that at the elementary level that there is not much of a problem, with the exception of a few pockets.
Shillingford has commended UNICEF for sponsoring the program. A number of individuals from Petit Savan, Dubique and other constituencies have found employment under the National Employment Program, NEP. A number of these employees were victims of Tropical Storm Erica. In the aftermath of the storm, Minister for Youth, Sports and Culture, Justina Charles, chaired a special committee responsible for social services in an effort to help the displaced get back on their feet.
Then we also have those that were not affected, but we've seen an increase in the number of persons engaged. Because for us, the people in Petit Savan and Dubique and all of the other areas that were affected, I mean, we can understand the psychological effect it had. We can understand the impact it had on their own livelihood. Some of them were out there doing their bailiff, some of them were doing their little snacking, some of them, you know, all of them had different little areas of engaging themselves. But as a result of the displacement, they do not have the facility that they require for them to keep themselves engaged, to generate some income to take care of their families. And so we think it was important that we had to see how we could engage them.
The jobs are expected to not only help those involved better care for their families, but will also serve as a stepping stone to opportunities within the public and private sector.
Because if they are, for example, at the hospital and an opportunity comes up, somebody retires and the person is performing well, it's very likely that the person can be employed under the government system. So I think it's an opportunity to avail themselves to an opportunity that can arise. So I think that what they have to do is to really take advantage of it, make the best of it, and that's one of the things I try to encourage the persons who are engaged under the National Employment Program. Do not just see it as something where they give me a job. Look at the benefits of what you are doing. While some people may think that the money is not much, as I said to even my NEP engaged, people who are engaged under NEP in my constituency, I said to them, instead of sitting at home and doing nothing and depending on somebody, at least at the end of the month you can get a certain amount of money.
In response to sentiments that the pay is too small, the minister said the initiative provides a level of independence for its beneficiaries, and that's better than sitting and waiting to be given a handout. In related news, Chief Education Officer Melina Fontaine says the 2016 CSEC exams figures are evidence that there is much more work to be done. Fontaine made the statement during the school dropout study training as she gave her full support to consultant Gloria Shillingford.
It also tells us that we are making strides, because now more students, because we are universal secondary education, more students are accessing secondary education, more students are sitting the examinations, and more students are passing. With the interventions that we are putting in place, we will continue to do better.
She noted that a key marker for the ministry is the number of students obtaining a passing grade in English and math.
Just to give you some figures, in 1997, 630 students sat the CSEC examinations. In English, only 54%, and mathematics, only 23% obtained a passing grade. In 2004, The year before we went fully universal, 1,019 students sat the examinations. Only 66 passed English, while 28 passed mathematics. This year, in 2016, when we are fully into universal secondary education and a decreasing population, 834 students sat the exam. 81.6% passed English, while 56% passed mathematics.
You are watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, the first graduating class of the Trinity School of Ministry. Thank you for staying with us. The 19th edition of the World Creole Music Festival will go on as planned despite health concerns surrounding the presence of the Zika virus. Earlier this year, the region was struck by the mosquito-borne illness, the Zika virus, and travel advisories had been issued by many countries warning passengers against traveling to some Caribbean islands. Just earlier this month, Canada issued a travel advisory for those planning to visit Dominica. Despite the presence of Zika on the island, DFC officials are confident that there will be a large turnout of patrons this year to this year's World Creole Music Festival.
We'll be meeting with the Environmental Health Department to give us an assessment as to where they are with their planning. So they will be forming part of our health and safety meeting, and we'll be discussing that. And normally during that time, we invite them here for press conference, so they will also indicate to the public some of the precautionary measures that needs to be taken in place. But Zika is indeed a concern, but we have been hearing from the health authorities on all mediums, so we know that people are in tune with doing what is best practices to avoid them having a Zika crisis. Apart from the Zika virus being a health concern, DFC officials are also cautioning food handlers that they play a bigger role in ensuring the health and safety of locals and visitors. We want to ensure that all people who do in our bars have the necessary health permits so they can be allowed to sell and make food so people in the park. And we also want to have our people serving food and being in the bars to be able to get some creative ideas flowing, do something different, because we have visitors from north, south, east and west. So I think we agreed, Kelly, and that if they could prepare some of this stuff in advance and bring it in and have it warmed up nicely, because preparing the food at the venue can also pose some health and safety issues for us. So we just want you to try our best, because one incident is too much for us for this festival.
Coffee says there are several other areas of health and safety, among them being proper waste disposal, to be discussed with health authorities to ensure a safe and incident-free World Creole Music Festival.
We are meeting next week with our health and safety individuals, because there are many areas that we have to look at in health and safety, and Kelly and I have put together a talking point that we will bring up to discuss the various people. We are going to meet with the venue and site building team. We will be looking at crowd management, because we expect thousands of people to gather, and how do we deal with that. Transportation, which is the key component, because we want to make sure that all our buses are serviced at the appropriate service providers, and that the exhaust fumes are not suffocating the artist before they reach Rosso, or the brakes going to give way. So we're going to look at all these things. Fire safety, which is critical.
And it's being described as first Bible school of its kind. The first 20 students to graduate from the Trinity School of Ministry have been warned that it cannot be church as usual if they intend to be effective ambassadors for Christ in the church and their community.
You're graduating at one of the toughest times in church history. Sound doctrine has become a thing of the past. Christian fellowship has disintegrated into mere CO.
Okay.
Prayer has become just a cliche spoken by Christians to sound spiritual, while a general absence from prayer meetings is a growing malady.
Right.
The line of demarcation between saved and lost is now so thin that you cannot easily recognize those who are saved as distinct from those who are lost.
Quoting Michael Penfold from his article, The Christian and the Media, The guest speaker warned graduates about the pitfalls of modern technology and its ability to dominate one's life.
The internet is making young people ignorant about almost everything serious. What should be a time saver has simultaneously become the world's biggest time waster. We're connected to hundreds of friends on Facebook, but have become disconnected from the real world. We've plugged in and tuned out. Instead of learning about others, we've used media to promote ourselves. Narcissism, which is the excessive absorption with self, has flourished through the internet. As advertising mingles with news content across modern media, the seriousness of life has been trivialized. What will your certification mean in a time such as this? Wow. The true worth of your certificate today is the degree to which you can use your newly acquired competencies for the glory of the only true and living God.
Amen. The 9-month program, which covered studies in basic Bible doctrines, sermon preparation, and excellence in ministry, among others, was delivered by Trinity School of Ministry in collaboration with Faith International Training School. The graduation theme was Breaking Barriers, Progressing by Grace. And several suggestions which came from a regional meeting to discuss the way forward for senior citizens are being pursued here locally. Here is Andrea Louis with more.
That's according to First Vice President of the Dominica Council on Aging, Evander Joseph. Last year's Caribbean Conference on Aging, Elder Abuse and the Rights of Older Persons was held in Dominica, and representatives from French and Spanish-speaking Caribbean countries voiced their concerns regarding treatment of the elderly in the region.
We are doing several things emanating from this conference to empower our senior citizens. We have been in contact with legal personnel in the drafting of laws and to implement, make amendments to some existing laws pertaining to the elderly in Dominica, and looking into their good and welfare as well. There are several other matters that we are now put into plan.
Joseph says elder abuse is also a matter of grave concern around the region, and the Council on Aging would like to see more stringent measures taken to deal with those who abuse the country's senior citizens.
We want to have specific amendments made to deal with our seniors, like for example, when come of age that you tend to forget, your memory tend to leave you. The caretakers, some of the caretakers, most of them are relatives, they take advantage of the elderly. Also to ensure, and again there's a law there, where an elderly can take a young child or take his or her children to court for maintenance. But we want to have more stringent, and all these things we're looking into. We are also getting to some legal professionals and in the drafting of laws to deal with such situations.
That's news. Kenny Williams is next with your sports highlights.
We begin with football, where Caribbean Cool Harlem United maintained their perfect start of the season with a 4-0 victory over Middleham United in the DFA Flow Premier League on Tuesday, taking their tally of wins to 3. Here now is DFA PRO Gerald George with the details.
Errol Blaise opened the scoring for Harlem in the 6th minute, giving them a 1-0 advantage at the interval. Nigel Sanderson scored in the 56th minute, with Odell Francis scoring in the 68th minute. Errol Blaze was back on the score sheet in the 77th minute for the comfortable win for the boys from Newtown. Cameron Paul was named man of the match. The league continues on Wednesday with Exodus Football Club taking on Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers at the Benjamin Park from 6 p.m.
In cricket, a local sports consultant says he is not surprised about the Windies' decision to sack Phil Simmons as head coach. When asked about it, the WICB president preferred not to comment on the matter. However, the official announcement was made on Tuesday.
The situation with Phil Simmons was pretty obvious to my mind. I thought from the time that he had gotten into a little bit of controversy with his board and his comments, following that tour, it was pretty obvious that that was going to happen to him. I mean, it's a policy that the West Indies board has developed. Once you find yourself on the other side of things with them, even if they had seemed to mend it and patch it up by calling him in and asking him for apology, that was not going to hold water. I found it strange that he's lasted that long. When the board met in Dominica, the question was asked of the members of the board, what is the situation with Phil Simmons? They sort of bobbed and weaved about it, which to me really wasn't making any sense. It was pretty obvious then that once something had leaked out, there's a saying, there's no smoke without fire.
Joseph says he expects the sacking of the head coach to have little effect, if any, on the team.
People come and people go. These situations happen. Yes, he's not there. The team will move on. They're a bunch of professionals. I expect them to take the bull by the horn, take the baton and move on from there.
Meantime, Thomas believes while opening batsman for Windward's Volcanoes, Tyrone Theophile wasn't selected for the Windies team, his time will come.
Tyrone and all of us who make a noise and who would like to see Tyrone, I would like to see Tyrone in the West Indies team. But the fact is, as we heard it from the former manager of the team, he's got to bide his time. And when the time is opportune, he will be given the call up. It's rather unfortunate to see other people who have not performed as much as Tyrone has done in the last 2 seasons get the nod above him. That is very distasteful. It's disturbing. But nonetheless, there's a saying, good things come to those who wait. It is true they say not for those who wait too long, but good things come to those who wait. And I think Tyrone's time will come. Let's hope that he can make the opportunity of it when it does arrive.
Grab your bikes, but remember your safety gear as we pedal our way to the cycling scene. Good news for our cyclists as the Dominica Cycling Association puts on an official race on Sunday. DCA PRO Chester Layton says the event should bring added exposure to the sport.
It's our first race, and it's on Sunday, 18th, starting from 2 p.m. from Roseau to Layu and back. And we have a lot of young persons, we have ladies involved, older guys involved. It's amazing, we have a lot of cyclists all around the island, but we just didn't know. So we're trying to tap into everybody all around the island to come together as one. Everybody train, everybody work hard, and we see what we can do in the Caribbean.
He says the aim is to have our cyclists improve their skills and compete regionally.
It's a sport where you can really do a lot outside Dominica because there are races almost every month. I should say almost every month. Every month in Guadeloupe, Martinique, St. Lucia, Barbados, Antigua, and we're hoping to really send out a team, men, women, under 19, whatever, represent Dominica. We're hoping to get some professional trainers down. And work with the guys, show guys how, first of all, how to fit your bike, make sure the seat is the proper height. There are a lot of little technical things involved, and show the proper techniques, how to ride, how to train, how to eat properly. We already had a trainer from Antigua, and we actually did a training last week. It was not any big thing, but it was just a little thing. We don't have a definite timeline, a date yet, but we're working on that. We already have contact with trainers and different people around the Caribbean, so it's just a matter of timing it properly.
The sponsors making this event possible are Flow, Coca-Cola, Fine Foods, Minia, 7-Eleven, and Burton & Company. That's all the sporting highlights for now. Join us again next time.
And now it's time for your weekly flashback. Welcome to another edition of Flashback. Today we're focusing on the Dominica Community High School, which is celebrating its 42nd anniversary today. Congratulations to the school. It started back then 42 years ago at the Dominica Grammar School. A lot has changed, and today we're going to focus on a report that we broadcast back in 1994 when the school celebrated its 20th anniversary.
It is 20 years tomorrow since the Dominica Community High School opened its doors. At the beginning, says Jean Finnegan, former principal, the founders of the school made a special effort to veer away from the traditional academic emphasis and to provide the students with an education which would prepare them for life in Dominica as it was then.
In looking at the problems in Dominica, when 95% of our population live off the land, we had to recognize that we must teach our children how to do agriculture if they're going to survive in a dynamic way in their communities. And that was why agriculture was the mainstay of the school, as well as we recognize that agriculture could bring in funds, good funds.
As we said earlier, congratulations are in order. Community High School celebrating 42 years. A lot has changed, but a lot has remained the same in terms of the focus on agriculture. As in fact, school principal Celia Nicholas tells us that students performed exceptionally well at the CSEC exams, the 2016 CSEC exams. Their uniform has changed over the years. They've moved from the original jacket. They've made some changes to their tie, but the crest has remained. Community High School is also an environmentally friendly school. Recently, they introduced solar panels, trying to reduce electricity, and in fact, this month, their bill is only $9, according to the school principal. So a lot is happening here, and this is perhaps one of the leading schools in terms of being environmentally friendly. The principal calls it the Green School. I'm Julian Morris, thanking you for joining us for this edition of Flashback and inviting you to join us again next week for another Flashback. Your weather forecast is next.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery and what it showed. Some areas of convection across to the south and east of Dominica due to the presence of a weak trough. Now, taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery, what it showed. Some low-level clouds which moved across the area today, and this resulted in fair to occasionally cloudy skies across Dominica. Taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it indicated, scattered showers across Dominica and also across the islands to the south. Tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with a few scattered showers, and similar conditions can be expected into tomorrow with the possibility of some afternoon thunderstorms. Sea conditions are expected to be slight to moderate in open water with waves peaking near 5 feet. For the next 3 days, beginning tomorrow, Thursday, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers and the possibility of some afternoon thunderstorms. And moving into Friday, fair to partly cloudy skies at first, becoming increasingly cloudy with a few scattered showers by afternoon. And on Saturday, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers can be expected. Winds are expected to be light throughout the 3-day period. However, some afternoon thunderstorms is possible by Friday and Saturday. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy skies can be expected across the extreme southern portion of the region. Some showers and thunderstorm activity can be expected across the central portion of the region, with fair to partly cloudy skies expected across the extreme northern portion of the island chain. Our international cities forecast: clear skies can be expected in New York, London, and Beijing, with showers and thunderstorm activity expected in Miami and Caracas. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 5:54 a.m. and sunset will be at 6:07 p.m. Please remember that we are in the hurricane season. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. China to pump over 11 million EC dollars into the construction of the Yaak Valley Bridge, damaged by the collapsed Matye Dam in 2011. Government-appointed consultant Gloria Shillingford says 3rd and 4th form boys are more likely to drop out than any other category of students. And organizers assure patrons Zika won't stop the 19th annual World Creole Music Festival. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNewsSept14th2k16. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. To our viewers around the world, thank you for watching.